Hi, Sandra here from Create in Spain, and considering this video is posted as how to make some paper flowers, maybe you're wondering why I've got the glue gun set up here. Or maybe you're not. Maybe you think I'm going to use it to glue the flowers together. Not quite what I have in mind. Right, I've got my glue gun switched on and warmed up, and it has a white glue stick. Now you don't have to use white, you can get sparkly glue sticks, you can get them in different colours. I just happen to have a white one. Now this isn't an expensive glue gun, this is a cheapy job from the Chinese shop. I've got 3 different glue guns and they all have their individual uses for me. And this one has a very, very lax trigger and it flows rather well, which is ideal for what I want. So I'm just going to do some gluing on the mat here, and all I'm going to do is take my glue gun and do a few lines. And by this time you're probably thinking she's gone absolutely mad. The glue fumes have gone to her head or some such. Now you can keep this up for as long as you like. And it doesn't matter if you don't have them precisely straight either. I'm going to do some lines in between walls that are shorter. And the reason I'm doing this at the moment is so that the glue can dry, so I can use it later on. And now I'm just going to do a line connecting them at the base. Whoops, slightly thick line, but not to worry, it really doesn't matter too much. Okay, now I could, if I wanted to, switch my glue gun off for the moment, which I think I will, otherwise I'll end up wasting glue. So let's leave that to one side for the moment. And we're talking about flowers. Now, I just have some very, very simple daisy-like flowers cut out. Now I cut them out on my silver bullet. It's a stamp design that I made and I just happened to have that file, so I thought, yeah, I'll cut that shape out. I've cut the same thing but in a smaller size as well. Now the other thing that you'll need for this is some kind of ball tool. Now I've got this type and I've got this type and whoops, I've got this one. And basically for this we probably just want to use these 2 here. Now I've got plastic tools, so I've got glue strands everywhere. I've got plastic tools because I don't do that much in the way of making flowers, and so it's really not worth my while going out and getting a set of stainless steel ones. These were cheap. I used them alternately for making sugar flowers for cake decorating if I want to do that, or I can use them for paper crafts. So what we want to do is to turn this over so that the right side is face down, and we just want to go over this in circular motion, go over the petals. Don't have to be precious about this, it just needs to break up the fibres of the card. Now I recommend you only use a thin card for this, so basically the thinnest of your craft card stock will do the job. You can see that's curved up, which I don't necessarily want on that particular side, but what it does when it curves up that side is it domes on this side. And so then when I go and put this into the middle like so, you can see I've got a bit of a curve going out on here. Now if I want to accentuate the curve, I can take another size of the ball tool, and on the back I can really rub hard into those edges. So it's a matter of personal taste as to what shape you want your flower to be, whether you want it to cup up, or you want to cut up and then out, or whether you want to have it flat. It's a matter of choice. Okay. Some flowers you can actually cut them up. These haven't got individual petals as such, but some of them you can cup up and actually stick them together so that they make a trumpet shape. But basically, that's not bad. And then if you want the petals to curl out a bit more, you can take anything. Could be a pen barrel or even a blunt kitchen knife. And I do mean a blunt one. Don't try doing it with a sharp one. and just curl the petals a little more if you want to. Okay, so you can have good fun doing this. It's quite a relaxing thing to do. Right, so I have one, but it's a little bit boring just on its own, so I'm going to do another one for the centre. And because it's a smaller flower, I'm just going to use a smaller ball tool. And with this one, I only want it to cut up like that. That's all I want it to do. So I'm doing that on the correct side. As you can see, you get a nice cup shape from that, and that will go inside there. And now we come to this. This is now dried, and you can pull off any odd strings just with your fingernails. Assuming you've got fingernails, of course. Some people do and some people don't. And you take this and you can either roll it up like so, or you can cut these off so they form individual stamen, and then you can glue them into your flower or into the centre of that, whichever happens to be the case. So this one is relatively small, so I'm just going to take a few off there and roll that up. Now I've just remembered I switched off my glue gun, so I'm going to have to switch my glue gun back on and hope. Oh yeah, there's still a bit of warm glue in there. So a little bit of glue to close that up, and then stick a little bit of glue into the centre here. This glue gun does stay hotter than one of my other ones, so with my other small glue gun you couldn't do this, it'd be too cold by now. You can stick that in there, and then you can put another blob of glue in here and stick that in there. So as you can see, you have a three-dimensional flower with some stamen in it. Now I have another one that I did in a different colour, and this one I simply took a paintbrush with some acrylic paint and just painted the stamen after I put it on. So, you know, if you've got different coloured glue sticks, then that's fine. If you haven't, don't worry, you can paint them. And it doesn't take much, just a minute or so to put a dab of paint on these. And I've used a gold acrylic for that particular one. So that's a couple of ways that you can make your flowers a bit more three-dimensional. And this one here has just got a little stud in the middle. These are very commonly found in craft shops, just little sticky studs. But the other thing that you can do if you have a glue gun, I'll just take the excess off here, you can make your own flower centres just by doing that and allowing it to cool, because that, when it's cool, can be painted as well, and you can put that in the centre. So if you don't have the right colour for your middle and you've got the paint but not the 3D gem or whatever, you can use that, no reason why not. And if you happen to have glitter glue sticks, then well, you can get some really spectacular effects. But it's one way of putting stamens in your flowers when you don't make them very often and you don't want to buy a load of stamens. You just, you know, if you haven't got the room to store all this stuff, then you can make do and mend. There we go. Hope you enjoyed that and find it useful.